So close. I almost had everything ready on time. But I'm bang on time this week. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Friday night live stream. You're here with Aquarium Adventures and friends. It's the regular Friday night stream where we get to have a bit of a chat, a bit of a catch-up, see what you've been up to this week. Let me know what your fishy plans are and your non-fishy plans, and just have a bit of a chat and a bit of a catch-up. While I ramble on, I'm just going to keep an eye out for a message that says, yes, I can see you and hear you. But I am getting green lights across the board, so hopefully that is working. Let's see who we've got in the house tonight. In the house tonight, sound like some kind of 90s DJ. Who have we got? We've got Rocky's Rocky. Hello there, NJW. Hi from Doncaster. Hi from Sheffield. Eagle-Eyed Mick, a blast from the past. Is that your old name? New name? Different name? Same name. Sharpie's here. Evening from ancient Attlingsburg. Aitling? That's a weird place in Norfolk, no doubt. Tim's here, evening all. Scott, well-spoken Scott. Evening all, don't forget to hit that like button on your way in. Or, indeed, at any point throughout the evening. Why not? It's free. Oh, there we go. Mickey's back again. Leanne's here. Good evening, everyone. Michelle, Hans, how are you doing? Nice to see you again. David Pinner's here. Sharpie's still here. Lanks Fishkeeper, nice to see you again. Oh, there's a new name. Vin. Birmingham City FC. Welcome, Vin. Birmingham City FC. Nice to see you. Who else have we got? We've got a bit of ketchup. Audio and visual. All good here. Thank you for listening to that. Lily's here saying morning. Morning? Did I say morning? Evening? Luke, hello. Oh, look at this. Carter Bing, all the way from North Carolina, USA. That's definitely got to be the furthest away. I'm going to have to do my old thing. Let's have a wee look. I'm sure we've done this one before. $3,799. That's what we've got to beat tonight, folks. 3,007. Oh, you can't even see that because my face is in the way. Is that better? 3,799 miles. Oh, I've just seen another one that says. Why can't we see chats? South Carolina. Right, okay, let's have a look. 3,979. We have another new winner. That's what we like. So the distance to beat is 3,979 miles. If you can be further away than that from Sheffield in the UK, you win my hearty congratulations. You don't actually win a prize because it would cost a freaking fortune to send it to you. Sharpie says, it turns out I'm blind and have been breeding cories. I spotted one at half an inch trundling about today. Do you know what? I found a fish in my tank. I've instantly forgotten the name of it. A leopard frog pleco, I think. Just cutting about in my tank, and I was like, I don't remember buying one of them. Where the hell did that come from? I have no idea. I'm sure it'll make its way into a video at some point. Noodle Sandwich is lurking tonight. Nice to see you. Lee Kinsey, nice to see you. Ben Scott. Christine says, pizza, beer and aquarium adventures. Great start to the weekend in Oswego. Oswego, I have no idea where that is. That could be near Rotherham, or it could be in Australia. It's 3,343 miles away. So, wow. Evelyn says, good evening. Who else have we got? We've got Dogman Doug, evening from Mars. I think he might be fibbing. Vin. Birmingham City FC says, yeah, new to your channel, mate. I come across your Vahaka Puffer video. Well, welcome. So, let's do the old shilling. If you are new here, this is an aquarium channel, obviously. Probably that's why you're here, you found this. But Friday nights is anything goes, well, within reason. We might do some giveaways. We might not. We might do some chatting about random I don't know, any kind of subjects. This is all about us having a bit of a back and forth chit chat. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you want to talk about. I might have a few rants on the way. Who knows? I think I've been too busy this week to rant, but anything goes. So normally the channel's all about fishy stuff. It's just the general things I got up to. This is more of a, right, what's going on? Have a bit of a chat about it. So any topics you want to bring up, get them in the chat. I do have one new thing that we're going to trial this week. This is... we're breaking new territory here. Well, we're not. We're rehashing old territory, but we're going to try it again. But we normally do giveaways every week, and then someone called Kaylee normally wins the giveaway because she's either the luckiest person in the world or she's hacked my PC, and every time we do the random giveaway winner generator, she wins it. So we're going to try something new, which may or may not be a bit more... some element of fairness to it and less randomness. So it's going to reward you if you are... So the longer you watch the live stream, the more chance you'll have of winning. Or the longer you watch the channel and the more you're an Aquarium Adventures supporter or whatever it might be, you're going to get points, and then you can redeem those points for... Well, I don't quite know yet. That's what we're going to talk a little bit about later. But we'll come on to that in a minute. But basically, the longer you watch, the more points you get. So just remember that for now, and then we'll come back to it in a bit. Dawn. There's Dawn saying good evening. Dawn also wins a lot. So you're here a lot as well. So that luck should transfer over. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Degenerate Fishkeeper Depths Unknown. Howdy. Luli would like some oil cats. I would to find some... I don't know what that means. Hi Jansen. Who's Jansen? Have I missed someone? Sorry. Turns out Dogman Doug isn't from Mars. He's just from the Black Country. I'll resist doing the accent. What is Ben saying? Ben says, I've moved a community tank from one end of the lounge to the other, and a pair of Severns and a pair of Cribs started breeding. No idea why. Do you know what? Most of my breeding successes have been completely accidental. The amount of time and effort I've put into trying to breed fish, and then when they actually do it, it's at the least appropriate time, the least inopportune moments. It's right, I'm just going to do all these jobs now, so it'd be a really terrible... Oh my god, they spawned 10,000 eggs. It's weeks, and if not months and months of trying to get Discus to lay eggs together, and then you just put them in a bucket full of eggs. I'm like, what? I'm just moving you from tank... Okay, that's clearly what I wanted. There is this theory, and I have no scientific proof whether it's anything more than a theory, that it's almost like the fight or flight. Oh, we've got Anoma balls already. We've got more on that as well. Thank you, Noodle Sandwich, for your 99p for the Oma balls. Thank you for the super chat. So, I'll come back to that in a minute. But there's like a theory that the fish experience a fight or flight response when things change. And that fight or flight response manifests itself as a, right, we better breed because we are about to die, and that's the only way we can keep our lineage going. You'll notice it. I don't know, I've only heard a few people talk about this. You've noticed it when someone will post something about, oh, my fish are really doing this weird thing, but they must be fine because they're breeding. Well, do they normally breed? No, this is new. And that's because they're like, right, we're about to croak it, we better get on with this and just have some chance of keeping our line going. And dead. But I have noticed it before where Cribs have done that before, where I've inadvertently kept them in really terrible conditions and they've bred like crazy, whereas if I keep them in really good conditions and look after them, they're like, no, we're fine, we don't need 300 babies, we'll just be happy with just us, thank you very much. So it's very strange. I can't remember why we're talking about that now, but there you go, put that out there. Lily Loft with the super chat as well. Thank you very much. Evening, says Lewis. Lily says, that made no sense. I would like to own some oil cats. I'm watching through a telescope. What, can you see me through the window? I hope not. Yeah, I'm alright. Oh, not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. David says, my small pond in the garden with koi and goldfish has been mad crazy with the fish spawning. Well, I guess it's that time of year, isn't it? Makes sense, fight or flight, but I just wanted the sofa in a different place. Yeah, well, that's often what does it. Right. Let me first confirm whether this is actually working before I tell you all about it and we talk about it. I don't think it's working. So this might be what we'll do next week. I don't think it's actually working. I'll try and explain it anyway. And if it doesn't work, this is preparation for next week when we do a bit of testing, because I literally did this about half an hour ago. Little vase, there we go. So let me move my coupon out the way. Go on, out way. So what we're going to do is we're going to have loyalty points, and the loyalty points will be as follows. So loyalty system is enabled. Did I just need to save the settings? Is that what it is? Who knows? So every 5 minutes, everyone on stream will get a point. So 1 point per 5 minutes you hang around in here. I'm not giving you a point for chatting, because then I think we'll just have people spamming in the chat. But this is all negotiable. Negotiable? Negotiable. I'm having problems with my words already. If you're a new subscriber, you get a little Brucey bonus. You get 10 points. If you become a member, we'll do some shilling on that later. If you become a member, you get 20 points. If you do make a donation, either Super Chat or Streamlads, you get 20 points. And those points, what do points make? Prizes, quite right. So in the store here, we have, for 10 points, you can have Oma Balls flash up on the screen. That will still work with any Super Chat of whatever you want, but at any point when you control it, you can make it say Oma Balls when you get 10 points. If you save up 500 points, you can have a t-shirt. 30 points, you can have me check out your channel. We'll show it on screen, give you a bit of a shout out, any of those kind of things. You could use that to say, oh, go and look at this other thing, I think it's interesting. That might do that kind of thing. You get 100 points, you get some fish food, so I'll send you a little care package of some fish food. And for 50 points, I'll send you some stickers. That's it. All done. No, I didn't want... That was the wrong button to press. So there, everything that's in there at the moment. So we've done mini games in the past where you can have heists, you can have bets, you can have duels with other people on stream and bet your points against them. I've not enabled any of that yet. So my first point of query is, do you think we should enable all those things? Because it might help people get to those points quicker. Because if you're relying purely on time served, for want of a better way, 500 points is 500 lots of 5 minutes, which is a long time, or a lot of donations, or a lot of whatever. So I don't know. I don't want to be giving away hundreds of t-shirts every week, but I also don't want to make it unattainable to get a t-shirt. So this is very much test and trial. We might scrap this all next week if I can't actually get it working. So question one is, do you want to have the betting, the dueling, the mini games, all that kind of stuff? Do you like this as an idea at all? Is it fairer than just doing the Kaylee wheel that we do every week and see who wins what? I thought it would be quite interesting because it does show you some other things. So if we look at the commands, for instance, on how you use this, by default, where was it? It's down here somewhere. So loyalty, under here, all these things. If you type in this in chat, so they all start with an exclamation mark points will tell you how many points you've got. Top will tell you who is the top users, so it's like a leaderboard if you like, so who's the most loyal Aquarium Adventure subscriber. Top hours, how many hours they've watched. Add points to a user, so moderators get a little bit of power here if someone's being especially good or contributing a lot or deserving in some way that will make up some arbitrary reason later. We can give out some extra points. If you're being an arse and you're spamming in chat or whatever, we can take away your points. And I think this means you can give points, some of your points, to another user if you type give. So exclamation mark give and an amount, and it will give them. So that should be on. So it's there, but doesn't seem to be working. So I don't know why it doesn't seem to be working. I've got all the Streamlabs stuff. I did only do this like half an hour ago, so maybe it takes a wee while to sync up with the stream. I don't know, so maybe we'll see if it works next week. We'll see if it kicks in. I see people are typing in points and top and stuff, and it's doing bugger all. Let me see if I try it, what happens. Yeah, I don't think it's working. I might need some help with this later. I don't know if I need to turn something else on. I'm pretty sure I've added Streamlabs as a moderator because I do use Streamlabs for other things. What happens if I add points to all viewers? Let's give everybody 5 points to get you started. Queued a 5 loyalty point payout. Okay, that might do something, but does not seem to be doing anything. Enabled. Meh. So we'll see. It might kick in later, it might not. Big face. Andy Morrison, good evening. Lily says she's had a glass of wine in celebration of ordering a new bathroom. Well, if anything deserves a glass of wine, why wouldn't it be ordering a new bathroom? I'm celebrating with some Pepsi Max this week. What's this, week 4 beer free? I'll be getting the shake soon. Steve Epps says, good evening everybody, good evening yourself, nice to see you. Bewitchy Ways is here saying hello. Ben Scott says congratulations for your new bathroom, and why not. Skiller's here. Sharpie's proving my technical abilities does not work. Thank you, Scott. That's a good suggestion, and you know what? I bet you it would probably work. I think that might be the problem, is that I haven't logged out and logged back in. I wonder if I log back out and log back in, that would do anything. I'm going to try it anyway and just see. Log out, log in. Obviously I can't turn off the stream because you'll all go away in a huff for me farting about on stream and not actually doing anything useful and talking about fish. But you never know, we'll see. Don't start, hands. I saw it there. Loyalty, let's see. Settings, still enabled, still not working. I wonder if I need to do something in... Might need to do something in Studio, but I don't want to dick about with it while we're doing this, so let's just say if it doesn't start working soon, we'll do giveaways as per normal. But we'll see. Mods have to command the Nightbot. I think a mod has already tried, so Tim's already tried, he's a mod. Hans says Megatank. So we have a huge Megatank update for you. It's just coming in 2 or 3 weeks time. Sorry, Megatank is taking quite a while. Turning things off and on again, that's like my superpower. I work in IT, as does Scott, and just me standing next to someone who has a problem usually makes the problem go away. I think technology is scared of me to the point where it just shuts down sometimes. But normally it fixes itself. But yeah, turning things off and on again, that cures 99% of all known problems in the technical world. Try giving Ben Scott 10,000 points. Well, that would be a... that would be the point that it would actually start working, wouldn't it? I'd have to send you out 5,000 t-shirts. Any update on the snakeheads? Have they settled back to normal again now? I think they have settled back into normal, and I think they've decided that normal is they're going to hide a lot. They are out, they are feeding, they're chomping down on mealworms, proper normal earthworms. They're even getting onto the pellets a lot better. They're not taking them, but the pellets are landing on the ground. So what I was initially worried about was they would only really take live food or food as it was falling through the water column. But now they are still taking live food, which is good because that's a really good food for them. But they're also taking pellets off the ground. So if I drop pellets in, they don't come out for them. But when I go back the next time, they're gone. And I have caught them once or twice, just been out munching on them. And then they see me and they're like, oh, straight off again. So I think it took them a good 3 or 4 weeks after I got them to settle in and be comfortable being out and about. So I think any change, they're just a bit skittish like that, and they like to hide. What can you say? Hopefully they will start to come out a little bit more and we'll get a little bit more personable, because they're cool as all hell. I quite like them, so I'd like to be able to see them more. So hopefully they'll come back out more. Lee's been wondering about Mega Tank progress. Yes, I've just not made it. Too many things. Life takes forever. Anytime they've got spare time here, so I work a full-time job, and sometimes it's even more full-time than full-time, and there's like 1,000,001 jobs to do around the house. And then once I've done all the things I need to do, fishy-wise, like make sure the tanks are cleaned and everything's fed, water changes are done, I'm like, we'll get there. I just need, something's got to give, and it's not going to be work because that pays the bills. It's not going to be family because that's family. So it has to be the fishy stuff, and there's only so many hours in the day. I will get there. The thing that's really stopping me, so I did have plans to make some progress this weekend and do all the filtration for Mega Tank. My good lady wife has just come to me with a list of jobs a mile long of things we need to get done this weekend, so whether we'll get to it or not, I don't know, but we'll get there eventually. Rob Barry says, evening all, I'll be mainly lurking and listening today. That's all good. There was an on-off option next to where it said Cloudbot. Does that need turning on? I never know whether you're trolling me or not. Cloudbot. Do you know what? There is an on-off option. If that's what it was. This button here, do you mean? I've now turned it on. But I'm sure that was already on because it was already doing... That's how I do the Kaylee wheel and all that kind of stuff. So let's give it 5 minutes and then we'll try that again. It might take a while to sync, who knows. But thank you for that. You weren't trolling me. Have you noticed any problems feeding worms without purging them? I guess they're full of dirt and soil. They are, but no, I haven't. I don't just dig them out the garden, so I know what's in them. I keep them in a little worm farm, and so they're being fed scraps and things like that. But the general consensus is that they're not always full of dirt as such, but it's not necessarily bad for the fish to consume that as well. So, again, not really looked into it scientifically or anything like that, but that's the general consensus, is that that's quite good for the fish as well if they eat them like that. Did you see the spectacular tank I posted on the Facebook group? I did not see the spectacular tank you posted on the Facebook group. Look at this. So that's 10 years ago. It's like cuteness overload. Anyway, sorry, I was looking at something, wasn't I? I was looking at... What did you want me to look at? The Facebook group. My own Facebook group that I can never find. Which one was it? Who made that post? Cozy Reading Corner. Did you see the spectacular tank? This? That's quite cool. A picture of your fish tank. Sorry, I'm getting distracted now. No, I didn't see it. Unless you mean that. My glasses are failing me. Top one, there's a fish in there. Oh my god, so there is. Way down here. Oh, you can't see it on the... Oh, how am I going to do that? Oh, there. We'll move it up a wee bit. Look, down here. There's a betta fish. So that's like one of those Exoterra things, and they've made it a palladium. Well, I can't really tell the scale, but I've seen bettas kept in smaller tanks than that, so it might not be all that terrible. I was just looking at this going, yeah, it's like a lizard enclosure. It's kind of cool. Some misters and stuff like that. But wow, I did not see the fish in there. That is kind of cool. Once it fills in a bit. But yeah, whether you'd keep fishing it or not. But again, I don't know if that's massive or not. I can't really tell the scale. And I've seen bettas kept in a lot worse than that. So, hey, who knows? Was Mega Tank going to replace the Discus tank you I didn't vandalise it. Or is there another tank coming for that? So, the story behind the Discus tank that I vandalised when I moved in here, so I'm in this fairly new into this house. Did I say palladium? I do have speech problems. It seems every time that I turn the camera on, I forget how to speak in proper England. Sorry. So when I first moved in here, I'm blaming the movers, but it may well have been me. But the tank, I filled it up and it started leaking everywhere, and it turned out it's completely smashed on the bottom. So it needs a new pane of glass, and ever since that happened, I had other jobs to do, so I never quite got around to it. But then when I was ready to get around to it, we're doing a load of work to the house as well, so I was going to have to fill it up, then drain it almost instantly to do the new floor, the new insulation, the new carpet. I had to go back down on top of it. But then it was always just like, oh, it's 2 weeks away from doing that. And then it was, oh, we had to move it back for something else. Then it was another 2 weeks. Oh, and then it was another 2 weeks. And it's got to the point where it's now 2 weeks away that we'll be getting all that sorted. So it's not worth filling it up and draining it again. But had I known, in hindsight, being 2020, that it would have taken this long to get down to it, I would have sorted it ages ago. But yeah, it's basically been an ornament in the hall, just sitting there empty for the last 4 or 5 months, something like that. But that will get repaired. I'm just going to get a new pane of glass, put it in the bottom of the fish tank, silicone that back in, and that should be good as gold again. And then the discus will go back in there. The tank the discus are in the fish room will get Humphrey. He'll go back into that tank, and then we'll buy something else. Who knows what? As Nightbot says, subscribe to Aquarium Adventures. Yes, that'd be nice. I'm just glad it's not IT. You said I work in. It is IT I work in. Sorry. The Tech Neanderthal beats the IT guy. I know. I am so sorry. Foxtail Gravy. Hello. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Well, so far everyone's doing well. I've managed to make a fool of myself within the first half hour, which is always nice. Will it start working? Will it start working? The problems I had getting memberships turned on in my channel, all because the turn on option was nowhere near where I expected it to be. It's got to be dart frogs. Alright, I can't pronounce some words. Get over it. So, let me see if anything's changed. Just talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I check things out. Remember, you can always subscribe. You can always do super chats, which will give you the, oh my balls stuff. You can always do channel memberships. They are somewhere down below. There's two options. One is just you being an ever so nice person and supporting the channel. The other one does get you something. It gets you a discount on the Aquarium Adventures website, so you get 10% off any purchase, whether it be food, merch, whatever, if you go for the Hero Adventurers option. But just clicking subscribe, sharing my videos, watching my videos, nothing else, all that does good stuff for me. So, as the graphic says, which isn't over there, as the graphic says up there, ever so grateful if you click the subscribe button. If you're new here, that'd be great. If you don't want to do that, or even if you do want to do that and you want to do something else, there is a Discord server. If you're not au fait with Discord, it's basically like a modern day version of a chat room. You can go in, it's like a forum, except everyone's the same. There's no Facebooky, shouty, aggro stuff. There's no superiority complexes. It's just sharing pictures of your fish, talking about random nonsense, asking questions, getting advice, getting help, all that good stuff up there. And I'm sure some of the moderators will be putting links in the description as I say this thing right now. We hang around there after the stream if you don't go and see any of the other streams that follow on this one. But it's all there, all to help, all to build community, because that's what we're kind of trying to do. I forgot what I was meant to be doing as I was saying all this. I do worry about myself sometimes. Oh, fish puns. I'm still collecting fish puns. I might write a book about this one day, but if you think of any good jokes, stick them in the chat as well. If you make me laugh, you might even get a prize. Right, loyalty. Store. Set up my redemption, stream perks. Oh, it's looking better. Things have changed. Loyalty. It still says there's nothing in there. Right, I'm going to have to go on my YouTube just to make sure that I have made Cloudbot a moderator, because that could also be the problem. My tendencies toward idiocy know no bounds, because I already thought I'd turned on Cloudbot. That seems to have been wrong. Where is it? Is it in settings? Where's the community stuff? Anyone remember? I am a professional, honest. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Streamlabs is a moderator, but not Cloudbot. So, you wouldn't believe I've been doing this for 66 weeks in a row, and I still make rookie mistakes like this. So if I take that in there, and that in there, click that button there, and save it. Oh, let's just go on Streamlabs again. This must be interesting viewing, wasn't it? Nightbot, Streamlabs. Did it? What are you talking about, computer? It's there. I don't know if I have to do anything else. Enable, save. Uh-oh. That was the wrong button. Widgets. No. Well. That was a nice thought. Have I just seen my dad? Stuart, do you want to say goodnight to Grandpa? Grandpa's on my stream saying hello. Sorry, I'm just saying to number 2 child, but he has almost no clothes on, so I doubt I want him on camera. Just popped in to give you a thumbs up. Got to be honest, I'm watching the golf. Well, it's nice of you to stick around anyway. You can wave your arm in front if you want. No, a bit further. Bit further. bit further. There you go, Grandpa. That's Stuart's arm. Ever bought a fish you thought would be great, but turned out to be a bit boring? I had an electric cat. He was great, could hand feed, zapped me a few times, but 90% of the time he sat in his cave. I get that a lot about the discus. People say to me, oh yeah, I thought they'd be great, because everyone says they're the kings of the aquarium hobby, but they just sit there. I've never found that to be true. And if they do just sit there, it's kind of awesome. It's like they're floating in the air, and I think that's exactly what I want from them. But I know that feeling where I have had fish in the past. We've talked about this fairly recently, and I'm sure everyone's going to get upset with me again when I say gouramis fall into that category for me, where I've got them thinking, oh, they look cool, and got them in the tank and gone, it's just a bit of it's like a fish. It doesn't, it's fish. Geophagus, earth eaters, not really. Having now been in the hobby a lot longer than when I first got them and thought those things, I now appreciate them a lot more, and there are some awesome strains of those families of fish where they are stunning, they're great, but early on gouramis was just like, meh, it's just a bit of a fish. I now realise there are lots of different types. I was mainly talking about your opaline gouramis, your honey gouramis, your dwarf blue gouramis. I feel like if I say gourami enough, the word starts to stop making sense. Gourami. Who knows? But yeah, that's as far as I've got. Evening, Papa Care. Hi, he saw you. Gourami. Yeah, I love my guppies too. I often, everyone keeps calling them beginner fish, but I think they're ace. I love guppies. I love how easy they are to keep, how colourful and active they are, how easy they are to breed, how quickly they breed, and prolifically, that's a word, prolifically they breed, because you can learn so much from them. So everything that I've ever learned about breeding fish has been extrapolated from live bearers. Everything can move on a level, so they're very basic requirements, but when you take those basic requirements, when you're applying it to a bigger fish like discus, for instance, alright, discus lay eggs when they're breeding, whereas guppies don't, but they still have the same things. They still want security, they still want really small food, they still want all the same basic principles of how do you get fried being a little tiny dot up to a proper sized fish. Okay, it's a bigger things, but guppies, the life cycle, it's just right there, and you can go into genetics, you can go into line breeding, you can go into all these other things, dabbling in it, and it's not going to cost you £1 bazillion. It's just going to cost you the price of a few small tanks and some guppies. Not much rhymes with salami, so gouramis do have a use. I'm sorry, Hans. Obviously, so editor's note, there are some fantastic fish that fall into the gourami family, which don't meet my Neanderthal views on my early views on keeping gouramis, because obviously they're a lot better. So yes, it's a misconception. That was my misconception, that years ago I just found them a bit meh. I wasn't aware of many of them, but the ones that I was aware of, I was meh, didn't like them. So got 18 new gouramis yesterday, and I'm sure they're lovely. Join the Discord, look at all the pictures of Hans's gouramis. They will be, no doubt that they will be fantastic fish, and do you know what, I might even make a commitment one day to get back into it and learn to love them. But yes, guppies are godfish. I really do believe that. I think guppies, endlers, yeah, I just think a small tank, you don't even need 2 fish. You could just get 1 guppy and you could end up with 1,000 by the end of the month. Pardon me, they're a bit like Bristol plecos in that regard. All you need is 1 guppy, water, and then you can have a breeding program. But for the amount of outlay and the amount that you can get from it, so the amount you can learn from raising guppies that can then be applied to everything else, I just think they're fantastic fish, and they're cool little buggers in and of themselves. Do you feel... So, I've got this new system for showing you the chat, and all it requires me to do is to click on the chat line, and then it posts it over here, but as soon as I click on it where it is, it disappears, and I have to quickly go on. That's why I'm doing all this business. So, do you feel every planted tank keeper should try CO2? Do I feel every planted tank keeper should try CO2? I mean, I wouldn't say no, don't try CO2, there's no need for it, but I don't know. So let me consider this for a second. What do I think about this? I think every planted tank keeper should do whatever works for them. So I would say try CO2 if you're trying to achieve something, but so I don't use any CO2 at all at the moment, and I'm kind of being overrun by plants at the moment, well, moss especially, because there are so many plants that don't need any of your high-tech nonsense. They're quite happily in lower light environments. They don't need CO2. Obviously they all need CO2, but they don't need CO2 injection to grow at a perfectly reasonable rate. And sometimes, I mean, I don't know if you can see that tank over there, my Limnophilia sessa, that it's basically doubled over with the amount of growth, and I'm not running CO2 on that tank obviously, but like every other week I'm having to cut that in half. So no, I don't think you need CO2 for every tank, but if you want a planted tank that has more demanding plants in it or need to get better growth, I don't think it should be a you should do this or you shouldn't do this. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's yeah, if you want to, go for it. There's no... If your tank doesn't require it, then no, you shouldn't try CO2. But also, if your tank doesn't require it, doesn't mean you shouldn't try it either, if that makes sense. There shouldn't be a rule to say you should or should not try CO2. When I first made my first couple of videos on CO2, I got all kinds of crap off people saying, oh, you've not got enough plants in there to justify CO2. And I was like, well, the ones that are in there, I want to give them a little bit of a boost. And lo and behold, it worked. So I think everyone gets a little bit precious about this sort of thing. So the CO2 question for me would be, make a determination as to whether or not you need it to grow the plants that you're trying to grow. If you need it to grow them, then yes, I would suggest you use CO2. If you don't need it, then it's personal preference. Doesn't mean you shouldn't use it if you don't need it, but why not? Does that even make sense? Have I contradicted myself by saying that? I'm not quite sure now. Clown loaches. Clown loaches are another one I want to get into a little bit. I remember having a sick one and it would flick blades and sharp bones from its nose. I remember being totally shocked. It would flick blades and sharp bones from its nose. I don't understand that sentence. How does that work? So Mickey says, I would say yes, it's a great benefit, but not 100% necessary. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think my problem is the word, should all fish keepers try CO2? If they want to. Yeah, that's where I kind of stand on that. A pair of my angels spawned the other day and the eggs were eaten. Had a pair of betta spawned the other day and they're in wiggling stage now. Very good. CSVFF1. What is it with these names sometimes? What's wrong with just Paul? CSVFF11. A pair of angels spawned the other day and the eggs were eaten. That is perfectly common. I wouldn't worry about that. Angels and discus are very alike in that regard, where especially new pairs, you can have dozens of spawns where they're figuring out how to do this thing, and they take a while to get it right, and some never do. That's just the truth of it. But I've had pairs of discus that have gone 12, 14 spawns and eating the eggs, and then after that, every single one after that, like clockwork, batch fry. But breeding's like I think that's one of the coolest things about this hobby. You mean there's nothing to say you're not a good aquarist if you're not doing breeding, but it fascinates me, all the different ways they all do it. High-tech plants aren't usually fully aquatic, which is why they need CO2 and absurd lights. I did not know that. But I guess that makes sense. I know a lot of aquatic plants that you find in fish shops and things aren't even semi-aquatic. They just put them in and they'll die. Your drachnias and the likes. And I know a lot of them are grown, so you have immersed and submersed plants, so where they grow them in a farm out of water, then you put them in water. And people do keep saying, oh well, you shouldn't notice a difference as long as you're doing it properly, but I think there is. Well, maybe it's just me that I'm not good enough. I've always noticed some melt when I've tried to submerge immersed grown plants. They usually come back and all that, but you just have this horrible period for 3 or 4 weeks where they're just a bit meh. I spent 500 euros, I suspect that must be. Of course it is, because it's this euro symbol. I need more rest. I also got 20 Mosquito Rasboras and 6 Corridoras Robustus, and they cost 60 euros each. Wow. 500 euros at the elephant, that's a lot of money, isn't it? On gouramis. I'm kidding. There's a question. What's the most you've ever spent in one trip to a fish shop? I'm trying to think what mine might be. In recent memory. Wife, are you watching? In recent memory, I think I spent about 350 quid at Fishman Aquatics recently, when I bought all my Congo tetras and various other fish that I wanted for... Oh no, that was before that actually. What was I buying then? I can't remember, but I bought a lot of fish. But that's not my record. I think my record was... must be 650, 700 I think it was in one trip, when I bought some discus. But I suppose that's a bit easier to spend money on discus. Everyone expects them to be expensive, don't they? I've been having problems with my discus this week. I've not managed to get a video out. I had a really good one planned too. I'm really quite gutted about this. Bloody SD cards. Terrible. Just had to buy another one. I need to get... Are there any cameras... in the olden days, 10 years ago, you used to get... Cameras would have like double SD card slots. So as if one failed, you always had your backup on the other one. Is that still a thing? I need to look into this more. But anyway, yes, my discus have been a bit poorly this week. And they've got some... Or they had some... It looked like bacterial infections, and immediately I'm thinking, oh, that's punami, that's caused that. It's the kind of thing that I would normally see someone posting asking for help, saying, oh, my fish looks like this, what could it be? And 9 times out of 10 it's, you're not keeping up with your water maintenance, you're not keeping up with your parameters. So you'll ask, oh, what's your water parameters? Fine. So it's that, but I know my water parameters are fine because I've been checking them constantly, because I had punami. If you're new here, punami might not mean anything. If you don't know what that means, I'll fill you in later, but I don't want to go over it again. It gives me shudders just thinking about it. But anyway, something happened. I'm going to have to now, aren't I? a soil pipe from a toilet ran across the top of the roof space above where my discus tanks were, and it broke, and it all fell into the fish tanks. I say it fell into the fish tanks. It fell into the fish tanks as I was standing there trying to hold it up. So it fell into me and into the fish tanks. So got them out as quick as I could, washed out all the tanks, put them all back in again, did everything that I could do. But yeah, it was punami. It was literal shit in all the fish tanks. So there were bacterial issues, and I just wasn't sure what to treat them for. So I've been doing mega water changes, but they looked really ropey when that happened. And then I started to pull them round just by doing large water changes constantly. But they started to go downhill again in the last kind of 10 days or so. No, not even that. Probably last weekend I started to notice, they all look a bit funny. They were getting a bit dark. Another couple of eyes had gone a bit cloudy. And then during the week it got really bad. And it looked like they had sores and boils on them and stuff like that. So I was getting quite concerned about it. But they've now turned that corner again, and we're back onto the right path at least. And now you would have to really look to see that there was a problem there. But that's 100% water changes every day. That's taking everything out of the tank, making sure there's no little congealed spots of detritus stuffed behind a filter or a bit of wood and all that kind of stuff. It's been surgical. Let's get in there, make sure everything's clean water constantly, temperature up, all the things that you think you should do, and it seems to have worked. But anyway, that was my week, and I filmed it all because I thought this is going to be brilliant because they look horrible, and they really did. They really looked horrible at one point. I really did think everything's going to die, and I'll have to give up YouTube because I'm the discus guy and I've just killed all my discus. So I was getting quite worried about that. But I thought, it's kind of my thing. As I make mistakes, as I tend to do quite often, I'll film it so as I can show everyone. And if nothing else, you can learn from my idiocy or my mistakes. Don't have poo in your fish tanks. I don't know how the video would be titled, but I managed to, things screwed up, so all the footage gone. So I have no video this week whatsoever. I hadn't quite finished it, but it's just completely empty. Can't get anything off it. So I'm a bit gutted about that, because I can't get to make the video, so I'll just tell you about it. That's what the last 5 minutes is. It's all about how you can treat with just clean water. And, I know most of the Facebook sites I would go on if I had posted pictures about that. Yes, that was the title I was considering for the video, Scott. Most of the Facebook groups I would have gone on, if I had posted pictures of the fish, I'd have got, you need to use Melafix, you need to use Primafix, you need to use Metro, they would just be chucking medications at me all the time. And that's why I just used clean water, because I knew it just needed to be sterilised and get it out there. I thought I'd left it too late and it was going to be too far gone, and I probably should have used medication, so that's why I was really worried at one point. But this was going to be my, the power of clean water. Look what you can do with just clean water, and pulling it back from the brink. So I've done it, I just haven't recorded any of it. I might have some, I wonder if I've got some pictures on my phone of some of the super dodginess of them, because I tend to do that to keep records. So if I can find any of them, I can show you that. No, it's just 10,000 pictures of Congo tetras, so I could put them on Instagram. And then my visit to Alton Towers at the weekend, where I got to wander around for hours on end holding jackets and jumpers. What a fun day that was. It was a fun day, actually. Quite liked it. No pictures there either. So complete waste. Thoughts on Stendker Discus? I've never actually kept any, but I don't really have any. I'm not against them or anything. I think they're fine. Very popular, obviously, because they're quite a big supplier. if you're new to the world of discus, you tend to have your Asian discus get bunched into one category, whether it's from Vietnam, from Kuala Lumpur, from any farms anywhere else around the world. It's your domesticated Asian discus, they just get called, and all get lumped into that. So my discus are from Martin Ung, and then you have your European domestic discus, your Stendker Discus. They have developed their line for a long time, so I guess they deserve their own little category, but they have a reputation for being a little bit more tolerant of different water conditions. Harder water they're fine with, and they get a reputation for being a little bit more robust. I'm not sure how deserved these reputations are, because a lot of the Asian discus I've found have been very robust, very tolerant of wide varieties of water conditions. I know Chen's discus, for instance, they keep all their discus just in straight plain old tap water, no dechlorination, no nothing, and those fish do very well, and he has lots of very nice fish. So I think Stendker have obviously built up a reputation, and they have obviously been in the game a long time, so well deserved. They've produced lots of information, but they've also produced lots of information that people are now starting to go, I wonder, is that really true, really necessary? I invite you, if you want, not a laugh, but if you're interested, go on the Stendker websites. They give you lots of rules. There's lots of guidelines, no rules, I think they do call them rules at some point, of what you can and can't do, and it's things that people are doing constantly without issue. They're like, no, must never do this, must never do that. But lovely fish. Mostly your variety is slightly limited with Stendker Discus, because a lot of the more out there strains of discus, or names, or colour morphs, or whatever you want to call them, because they're all the same type of discus, the Asian discus tend to get the more colourful ones, like your Rafflesia, is that the word I'm trying to say? Or your checkerboards and all this kind of thing, whereas Stendker, Blue Turk, Red Turk, they call them different names. Blue Diamond, this diamond. In fact, shall we have a wee look together? Sprechen die Deutsch? Since 1965, we have been breeding our popular Chichlets, made in Germany, in the Münsterland region. Two brothers, Jörg and Volker, took over the business from the father Heinz Stendker, who had originally laid the foundations for today's professional hatchery with just 4 discus fish. Wow. I mean, you've got to give it to them. The story's cool. Approximately 200,000 to 300,000 discus fish, 29 different colour varieties. That's quite a lot. I didn't think it was that many. And our company philosophy is only the best for our discus fish. Yeah. They sell to something like, 30 countries or something like that. And there you go. We supply our discus fish to over 45 countries: Europe, Australia, Qatar, USA. Yeah. So they're a pretty big deal. But there's a page, this seems new to me. There's a page where they had instructions. So here's their colour variations. So this is what I would call your this is your standard Stendker Discus as far as I'm concerned. The Turks, and they are one of my favourite fish. Blue Turk, Red Turk, any kind of Turk, any kind of Turk. I just love the markings. I love the shape, the colours of them. They're considered standard because they've been around for so long, basically. How did you get off this? I'm not allowed to just click. Oh, who designed their website? Jeez, oh. You just have to kill that, okay. And then your red Turk, which is meant to be the red base. I've always struggled to tell the difference between blue Turk and red Turk. They look so similar to me, but they've obviously got some... Oh, red Scribblet. That's quite a cool looking wildish fish. Has some wild overtones. They've got some pigeon bloods, they've got some red fish. Solid fire red. Well, that's got a hint of the Rafflesia around it. But some of the more... You don't see your Penang eruptions, you don't see your crazy named Tiger Turks and all that kind of stuff. They do the things they do, and they do them well, and that's that. The thing about these names is anyone can call them whatever the hell they want. It means nothing. It's not scientific names, it's not about genus or anything. It's like, oh, it's the purple letterbox fish. It could be anything. I've made videos about this in the past. Some of the fish that I own, I bought purely because of the name of it, so as I could make a video going, this is ridiculous. I've forgotten what it is now. It's like the Golden Wonder Fantastic Boxfish. You're like, what? I've always struggled with discus names. I just think they're ridiculous. Discus manual. Oh, this sounds promising. The 10 golden rules for successful keeping of our Stendker Discus. What distinguishes our Stendker Discus? There you go. This is the answer to the question that was asked. We've been breeding them for 55 years, blah, 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 blah. German tap water. Very robust, not very skittish, and used to people. That's probably true, but I don't think that's necessarily a Stendker only quality now. I think that's it. So our water values, that's brilliant. That's great information. If you're going to buy discus from anywhere, that's good information to ask of the person you're going to buy them from, whether it's a shop, an individual. What are your water parameters? See how far away your own water parameters are. See whether it's going to be a potential issue for you. So doodle-doo. I think this has changed since the last time I read it. Please determine the temperature difference between transport water and your aquarium water. If the aquarium difference is more than 4 degrees, please leave closed transport bags in the box and fill aquarium water into the box. Yeah, I've always been a bit like, what? I get where they go with it, they're trying to get it up to temperature, but why not just float the bags? Is it because of the lights? I don't care. Adjust 1 to 2 degrees every hour, no more. Imagine they're like 10 degrees out. You're going to just keep them in the bags an extra 10 hours? Just... Okay. So there are things in here that I've just like, what? That's crazy. Feeding and care of our Stendker Discus fish is quite simple. One times weekly water change 30%, and 2 to 3 times daily feeding with our good heart. So that's their own beef heart mix that they make. A high stocking density contributes to a better food intake and well-being of our discus fish, i.e. buy more of our fish. It is true though. Larger groups feed better because I think they get that whole hunter thing going in. This is the bit that sends everyone mad. Our Stendker Discus do not need variety and do not need another food. So some people go mental about that, going, of course they need variety. How many cows do you see falling into the Amazon River? And rah, 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 rah. It's... I think I'm going to sit on the fence on this one and see. I see both sides of that argument. The reason they don't need another food is because the beef heart mix has all the nutritional balance within it. Is their argument, at least. So it's not just beef heart, it's beef heart mix. It has lots of things in it, which is meant to give that full nutritional range and values to mean you don't need to give it anything else. But they do concede here that you can give snacks. So again, here this is another contentious bit. Do not feed Tubifix. Don't see why not. I don't think that's bad these days. That might be an old one from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, when tubifex were basically cultured in big piles of poop, and then you were feeding that big pile of poop to your fish. That's just not the case anymore. Mussels, I get, because that's the thiaminase issue. Red mosquito larvae with triple exclamation mark. I don't know why that's quite so bad, but whatever, fine. Water values, water changes, stocking density in the shop and at customers. So again, we started coming in with the rules. Diseases, treatment. I mean, this has actually changed quite a bit from the last time. Tip for your order: please do not let the discus groups in your sales facility shrink below 10 per aquarium in order in advance to make sure the boxes are full when you place your order. Yeah, discus do better in bigger groups. Everyone has told me that. Everyone's always said that. I've observed it myself. I have no reason to disagree with that. The old version of this was a lot more, obviously I've skipped through it, but the old version of this was a lot more hilarious. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Stendker discus fish. They're discus, they're cool, I love them. Stendker's just another way to go. They always say don't mix Stendker and Asian fish, but there's plenty of people that have done it recently. So back on the CO2 question, David says, I have a planted tank and I don't think it would look as good as it does without CO2. Perfect excuse for using CO2. I used to have CO2 many years ago, but using yeast and sugar. Not sure if that's still a thing. It is still a thing. Someone offered to send me a kit the other day, which I thought was quite funny. I get a lot of offers from people because I make videos. I have X business, or I sell this on eBay, and you'll have noticed that I do make them every now and again. There will be a video where someone has sent me, in fact, I haven't got it to hand, but someone has sent me various things, and I'll say, yeah, BM Aquatics sent me this thing. My general rules for making those kind of videos are, if you're just wanting to send me a thing and me show it on a video, absolutely fine, no problem with that. My general rules are, it has to be either new, interesting in some way, or I just want it. So I just wanted a brine shrimp hatchery, so that's why I took that offer. But anything else is just going to be a boring ass video, and it will hurt the person sending me the thing as much as it'll hurt me, because nobody's going to watch the video. But generally, they're my rules. It has to be one of those, fit into one of those categories. I want it because it's filling a gap in my current fish keeping. It's new, so I can talk about it, and it's a bit exciting, or it's interesting for some other reason. And then the most important one is I get to say what I really think about it. And I'd be amazed at the amount of people that walk away at that point. Oh, right, so you're not going to say it's brilliant no matter what? No, of course I'm not. Okay, well, thanks for talking to us. Bye. You're like, what confidence you have in your products. I forgot why I was talking about this now. Oh, yeah, so someone offered to send me we've started a new business for selling on eBay and Amazon. It's a DIY CO2 kit. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember DIY CO2. That might make an interesting video. Go, tell me more. It was literally a packet of yeast, like you might get like a 12 pack at the supermarket of yeast for making bread, like those little sachets of yeast, and like a plastic bottle like this, but maybe smaller, like a 1 litre bottle of Pepsi Max or Coke or whatever, Pepsi Max TM, and that was it. That's what you're buying, and it was like £8. I was like, serious? There's not even like fancy fittings or anything. They didn't even have the, because I've seen them before where you buy them and the lids at least have like the little, I'm trying to think of the word now, the, not valves, but connectors, if you like, with the air line that comes off, that then goes into another collection chamber. This was literally one bottle, when the minimum you need is two.
Sorry, I didn't find a group or device named collection chamber.
Alexa's having a little fit at the moment, apparently. So it was one bottle, not even two, and it just had a normal lid. So it came with instructions to say, these are all the extra things you have to buy. And I'm like, well, why? If you're going to put one bottle in the pack, why not two? If you're going to say, well, you need to buy this connection thing here, why not throw it in? I couldn't get it. So I was like, well, no thanks. So yes, it definitely is a thing, and I may well do a video on like DIY CO2. I think the thing I struggle with DIY versions of things is there's usually a manual element to it, so it's like you have to remember to do a thing, and brain no worky very good. So very, very little often time remember to do thing, and disaster ensue. So it makes a good video, I suppose, but Lanx Fishkeeper says, I've never used CO2, but I always bought hardy type plants. I've used root tabs and liquid fertilizer. Yeah, I mean, CO2 with most plants will just make them grow faster, or make them grow bushier, or accelerate the growth. Most of it's to do with light. So if you have a plant that has really high light requirements, you generally have to throw in CO2 as well, because if you just have the light, it'll end up burning them, because they won't be growing at the same rate. So most plants don't need them, you'll just do better with it. My money spent high score is lower than my money left. Oh, I must be quite far back. Nathaniel Vlogs livestream for, I don't know how you did it, but you made your comment stand up bright yellow in my thing. I will get to it in a second, sir. Emin Icy says, hello, I have one Molly, does it need a friend? Well, I don't know how lonely your Molly is. I recorded 4 videos Wednesday, went to move them to HMS Crap Top today, and all 4 vanished without a trace. Re-recorded them all. It's so frustrating. Every now and again, I try. Should I admit this? Regular viewers on my channel will notice that a lot of my videos are me saying, alright, I've got to do this thing, so it's me filming thing. Or let's be real, it's me saying, I have to do a thing, so I'm going to film it. So I do the thing, and then I talk about the thing, and that's it. So it's the easiest video in the world. But every now and again, I get the big lights out. I think about shot composition, I think about narrative, I think about story, I think about, how can I make this interesting for the viewer? And every single time I do it, something breaks, something screws up. The camera falls off the tripod and smashes into 1,000 pieces. The memory card dies. It's just every time I put any proper effort into making a video, it just screws me over every time. So it's the most frustrating thing in the world. So I feel your pain. Nathaniel Vlogs, hello. Why does my dwarf frog snatch its flakes from my hand? Because it's hungry? I don't know. What do you want it to do? That's a good thing, surely. You don't want it to hide and leave them to fall and wait until you go away before it eats them. I don't know. Because it's greedy, says Imini. Says, yeah, it could be that. Good afternoon, everyone, says Paul McCarthy. Good afternoon, says every time Paul McCartney. That's all I see. Paul McCartney, not McCarthy. Right, sorry, I'm just trying to catch up a little bit on the old stream. Not as bad as Guppy names. She put me in charge of the fish names. It's just a whole thing, isn't it? All fish. It seems to be the crazier the name, the more appealing it is to little kids. I think that's got to be the way, but I don't understand that, because what little kids have got 150 quid to spend on one fish? What little kids are going out to the discus breeder going, oh, I like that one, that one, that one, that one. That's £1,000. What? It's... And I used to say to Tim, my discus specialist over at Corbin Discus, RIP Corbin Discus, like, did nobody say anything about the names? Because these are ridiculous. Magnificent Eruption. Just every time I think of it. I get to have like calls at work and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I got a new fish last week. Oh yeah, what kind? A Magnificent Eruption. Are you alright, Graham? Do we need to call HR? No, that's the actual name of a fish. It's called a Magnificent Eruption. I've got a Blue Ninja as well. I'll have you. Yeah. What about my Tiger Turk? What the hell are you on about? Exactly. These are all names of discus, but these are names that are breeder specific. And it's just this weird... I almost said the word dichotomy, but that's way above my IQ. It's just this weird thing with scientific names. Scientific names over here, so ridiculous. You pick a random set of letters and stick I on the end, and that's your scientific name, so no one wants to use that. Alright, well, the retail name then, we'll just do whatever I almost swore there. Whatever the hell we want then. So, one fish, 15 different names, no one gives a damn over this side what anyone else is calling it. So, let's use discus as an example. 4 different discus suppliers will have 4 different names for the exact same fish. The exact same fish, exact same lineage, even from the same farm sometimes. They'll just decide to call it something else. It boggles my tiny mind that this is the situation we've got ourselves into. I don't know what to say about it. I have a blue discus. No, read the words, Graham. I have a blue diamond discus among many from a local breeder. Oh, we've got a new subscriber, Jamie Lim. Thank you very much, Jamie. You're probably not here though. A blue diamond discus among many from a local breeder, but I prefer the blue Turk wild stripe. He actually really liked Melifix. And swore by it, especially for healing the parents. So I have a problem with anything that's got fix at the end of the name, because it's basically water. That doesn't mean it doesn't do anything. So it might have some... So it's like... what do you call it? The... Not holistic medicine, but water, basically, where it's all these herbal remedies. It doesn't mean they don't do anything. It's just, my problem is it doesn't justify the price tag of it. I could get a cup of water, a drop of tea tree oil. That's Melifix, or that's Pimafix, or whatever it is. It will do something. It will have some antiseptic or antibiotic qualities to it. Antiseptic, probably. But why is that a product? Who knows? I'm glad everyone's getting along. Do they stink? Do orphan drug frauds need a friend, or are they alright alone? Am I the only one typing? I guess you were at that point, because everyone was obviously riveted by my interesting discussion about Stendker Discus. So to answer them in order, me too. I guess they did for a while. Both, yes. My reply about clown roaches probably got lost in the chat, but they have basically switchblades that flick out of their noses. It's mad, worth a Google. Clown loach spines. Really? I feel like this might be... How can I have got through all these years without knowing that clown loaches had switchblades in their face? What do I have to Google? Clown loach spines. I'm going to have to do the thing. Okay, that didn't really fit, did it? Okay, let's show this. Small face. I think someone else just subscribed. Ruben's Gaming Channel, if you're here. Thank you very much, Ruben. All loaches, I don't know if you can read all this, but I shall read it for you. All loaches All loaches possess very sharp, bony spines behind their eyes that they can unfold and use to warn off other fishies, and occasionally the fish keeper who insists on taking them to shows. Really? Clown loaches have spines on the side of their heads. They extend them when in distress, so it's not a surprise. That in its last horrified moments of life it would do that. That can't be a thing, surely. I believe it's called a subocular, meaning below the eye, bifid spine. They have a subocular spine that protrudes from beneath the eye. Therefore, when using a net to catch a clown loach, you should be careful not to use that spine. Every day is a school day. I did not know any of this nonsense. Is Nathaniel just making 15,000 accounts just to subscribe? Hey, I'm not against it. If you all want to do that, that's great. I'll see if I can find some pictures. Jesus. Look at that. Look at that. Right, clown loaches are definitely on the list now. I did not know they had eye switchblades. Oh, right, sorry, I've got a bit... That's what you hear when they're clicking. Same with yo-yo loaches. Coolie loaches, did they have them? I'm going to have to go downstairs and check. I know what my Friday night's going to be now. Sat at midnight in my fish room, prodding coolie loaches with sticks going, ha-ha! Show me your switchblades, your face blades. My two nieces visited me and were looking at the tank and asked do they have names. I said Guppies and Corridoras. They said no, proper names like Fred or James. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I have... So, obviously, I'm a discus guy. I keep saying this. They are my favourite fish. I love them to bits. I've never named a discus. But I do have fish with names. I've got Humphrey. I've named several other of my fish in the past. Why have I never named my discus when they're my favourites? It's a weird one, that one. We've got a snowflake. We've got... Yeah, I don't know why. It just makes it harder when they die. How do I subscribe? Well, I'm hoping there's a button down there somewhere that you can press and that'll help you subscribe. Yes, Marlborough Red, Melon Red, same thing. There's about 8 different types of variations on that theme that are the same fish. Washing my test tubes while listening, it seemed the right time. Reef, marine and freshwater tests. Now here's a question for you. Should there be a difference between marine nitrate tests and freshwater nitrate tests? I just say that because when I used to keep marine fish, that seemed to be all everyone wanted to argue about. And the general consensus was no. It is mad. And this is the first time I've seen it, and I'm blown away. I can't believe that is a thing. If I was like farting about in a fish tank and a clown loach approached, a clown loach approached. That seems like it should be a song lyric. I would not be thinking, oh, best get out of the way, that thing will have my finger off. But now I would be. Thank you, Nathaniel, for all your substitutions. That's not the word I was going for. Subscriptions. Thank you for all your subscriptions. A proper Glasgow fish, the clown loach. The lesser known green and blue Ouija loach. Green and blue, God, you're mixing up your Glaswegians there. Don't know if anyone got to see the football at the weekend. Not the weekend, during the week. I was proper gutted. First time I've had a team that I actually cared anything about being a penalty shootout, and we lost. I saw it on a sickly loach. It's mental. It's a shame that you see these things when fish are in stress, or like the breeding behaviour I was talking about earlier. That's kind of like, is there anything going on with that thing? And they kick off with the breeding. You see some weird spines you never knew existed. It's being all inclusive. Yeah, right. Where have we got to? Sorry, I've been rambling on about nothing for a while. Did the thing ever work, or should we need to try that next week? Let me go back and check. I do apologise. Well, it seems to be working now. Nathaniel Vlogs and Music Stories have both got 10 points each. I don't know why they in particular. So, Nathaniel Vlogs or Music Stories, you should be able to issue a command now which says, for instance, if you... Oh no, I need to remember what the commands were. It's not showing in the... So, for instance, if you type in... What do you need to type in? Come on, Graham, you can do this. Nathaniel, type balls in the comment. B-A-L-L-Z. No, exclamation mark balls. Like this. That might do something, and we'll see whether it works. It's definitely updated, but it's only showing that. We're going to need to do more work on this. Well, while we work on that, we'll do one giveaway for all you people who've hung around to hear me talking nonsense for the last couple of hours. Is there even anybody still here? Oh, there's still 50 people here listening to me talk nonsense. So Nathaniel typing balls should mean something should appear here, but clearly it hasn't, so I apologise. We'll start again fresh next week. But if anybody wants to win a prize, shall we do another giveaway? What do you think? I was also interested in what you think some of the things that we could assign the points to. So I picked things like, win a t-shirt, win some stickers. I was thinking, do we have like another subscriber tank? Do we have like a collaboration? You pick who I have to approach to do a collaboration with, or who knows what it might be. I'm also going to bring out the Oma Balls merch will be coming soon. I know Foxtail Gravy, I think it's your brother, was it, that designed me some graphics for Oma Balls. We'll get that on a Spreadshirt merch. It's not going to be on the normal embroidered merch yet, because they're still investigating. Sorry, that made me laugh. But while we think about that, we'll do the Kaylee wheel, shall we? Shall we do the Kaylee wheel? Do a bit of a giveaway, and then in 6 to 8 business weeks, I will send out a prize to whoever wins. So this is what we might give away. A wheel will appear here, giving away a little prize. This is what you're up for winning. What is it going to be? It's going to be a sticker pack. Wow. Oh. Worth thousands of pounds. Maybe. All you have to do to win a sticker pack, we'll give away several sticker packs. How about that? All you have to do to win a sticker pack is, in fact, live anywhere in the world. Let's go international. Why don't we? I need to do some setup here to make sure it works. Oh, look at this. Move that around. No, that didn't work. Why is that not working? Anyway, what it says there is top chatter, Sharpies, Fish and Phantoms. See, top chatters. Go on then. These are the top chatters of the evening. Oh no, these are the top chatters since the 5th. No, the 13th of the 5th. That deserves some kind of prize. Right, so we're going to do a giveaway, so let's go on giveaway. We'll include the mods, because everyone loves stickers. Random number or keyword? Random number or keyword? Let's go keyword. And let's go... I kind of want to say chill, Nathaniel. Let's say shush. There you go. So type shush in chats and you could win some stickers. All you have to do to be eligible to win is type the word shush, SHOOSH. That's almost a palindrome. Live in the UK or anywhere else in the world for that matter, because it's stickers and that's quite cheap. You have to be a subscriber, you have to like the channel, you have to do all the things. If there's a button you can click, you have to click it. You have to you have to show a bit of love to Aquarium Adventures. You don't have to pay any money. I mean, I do love super chats, I do love members, I do love all that kind of stuff, but just type shush. That's all you really need to do. Got 14 eligible users so far. Let me see if I can see any others. I've got Shaddix hiding in the background. Didn't see you sneak in, sir. Whiskey, please. What was supposed to happen? So what was supposed to happen is the chat is meant to throw up some stats and say, so if you typed in balls, for instance, if you get 10 points, you're allowed to type in balls, and that just throws up like a picture up here somewhere. It says, oh, my balls, and everyone thinks, brilliant, hilarious. If you get more points, you get more options. So you could get, ultimately, building up to some free merch. You get a free t-shirt. You might get some stickers, you might get a shout out, you might get who knows what. And that's one of the things I will be posting on the community tab. Say, well, what would you like? What would be interesting? Other than the just, I'll give you a t-shirt, I'll give you some stickers. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. The subscriber tank was a thing that we ran. So if you are new here, we did a thing where we ran tier lists for a while. We picked, let's pick a fish to base a tank around. Okay, let's pick some tank mates for it. Let's pick a style of tank, and then that birthed the Congo Tetra tank, and I love it. It's hands down my favourite tank at the moment. I think it's fantastic. It's performed terribly as a video, I must admit, but it's my favourite tank, and I think it's fantastic. So let's do something like that again. So maybe it might be, we'll set a target of, I don't know, 500 points, and you get to choose what the next fish is, or you get to kick off the next subscriber tank, because it did cost me a fair bit of money to put all that together. But so I would like to space it out a little bit, but it was quite cool. But who knows? I only get like half an hour a week to think about this. So if you might have other ideas of, oh, it'd be cool if he just did this, or it'd be cool if he reached out to that guy or that girl and they did a video together, or they discussed the topic, or it'd be cool if they had such and such on their show as a guest. Or I don't know. So one of the ones I put on was, we'll give you a shout out, give you a channel review, give you a. There are lots of smaller channels just getting started that potentially have some great knowledge, some great videos, interesting topics, all that kind of thing. But they've only got 50 subscribers, so let's give them a shout out. See if we can get a little bit more focus on them. That kind of thing. So I'll put a post on. Can we do polls with where you can add in extra options? I don't know if that's a thing. Cereal Bar Bros just subscribed. Thank you very much, Cereal Bar Bros. Waffle on in chat, like what I do. So Scott's going to overtake him, which is going to be easy because you can delete all his comments. So that would be a bit of a low blow, surely. Right, I think we've got 20 eligible users. I think that might be because I've sent out 5 billion stickers in the past and everybody's bored of them, but let's go with it. Let's go back to Little Face. Are we ready? Last few seconds. Get ready. Mortis Aaron, you have won some stickers. Imparta Ices, you have won some stickers. And finally, didn't even do any sound effects. Lanks Fishkeeper, you have won some stickers. Congratulations, everyone! So you know the score. You all have to send me an email to that address there and let me know where to send the stickers to, and I'll send you a bunch of stickers. Unfortunately, we have run out of cock stickers, so I can't send you any cock pictures. Which is a sentence I didn't think I'd be saying tonight, but there you go. So congratulations to all of you lot. Let me know. I've still not had any more fishy puns. Where's all my fish jokes tonight? There you go, Hans. That could be the thing. And I guarantee you, when we do the next tier list for what fish should we be keeping in there, because I've expressed a little bit of misplaced dislike of gouramis, I'll be keeping gouramis. But you know, when we first did the whole subscriber tank thing in Congo Tetras 1, I was a bit like, I've kept them before and they were a bit meh. Getting them in decent numbers and keeping them in it's close to a biotope, I guess. I've tried to get everything you can find in the Congo at some place, but you might not necessarily find them all in the same part of the Congo together. But doing that, it's just, I love it, absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. The way the Congo textures are like little piranhas, the Alestes textures swimming in and around them, creating not a black water tank, but creating a more of a tanniny tank. Absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic, and just, I did not think that would be something that I would be into, and it cost me a fair bit of money. I bought a big-ish 4-foot tank. I bought all the fish to go in there. I bought some of the plants. Well, I bought all the plants to go in there. Alright, I reused some rocks and stuff, but still, I spent a few £100 on that. And I was a bit like, ugh, I'm going to have to spend all this money on this stuff. And now it's one of my favourite tanks, so I'm well up for doing something like that again. So maybe that could be one of the prizes. If you save up your points, you convince me to get into licorice gouramis, which I'm fine with, because some of the pictures you showed me, or you made me look up the last time we talked about this, that would not be a bad idea at all. Right, we've got 20 minutes left, so if you don't give me any jokes, I'm going to finish early. So that's a threat. I want some fishy jokes, please. If you've got any final questions and your name isn't Nathaniel, type them in the chat. Sorry, Nathaniel, I don't mean to pick on you. You're very positive, but it can be quite grating sometimes. Mortis, nice. I've only been into aquariums for 6 months or so watching your videos and so much research has helped. Good. That's kind of the reason I make videos, is because I often make lots of mistakes, and if you watch my videos, you'll see those mistakes. You'll know not to do them yourself. So it should make your experience a little bit better. Everything I do in my fish keeping hobby is me trying stuff. It's not, the only thing I have any experience in is discus. Everything else is, oh, that's a cool fish, let's try it and see what happens. So I do make mistakes, but I film everything that I do. And if it works, I'll tell you about what works. And if it doesn't work, I'll tell you about what doesn't work. I hope so, anyway. Yes, as Mickey says, that is the email address. If you have won a prize tonight, if you won some stickers, send me an email. Let me know where you live or where you want me to send the stickers. If you don't want to tell me where you live, and I'll send them out. Easy as that. ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. What a name. What's up, Fish Fam? What's up, ABC? Nice to see you here. How do I get points? You tune in next week. The points clearly did not work. Right, so... Oh, look, we've got a rare freshwater ichthyology in the house. Finished for the evening? Pearl gourami are great fish. I have 3 in with my disc. Pearl, that's a word that's difficult to say. Pearlgour. Oh, of course. What was I thinking of? So, these are small face pearl gouramis. I'm afraid I included them in the meh. These opaline gouramis, honey gouramis, dwarf blue, or whatever they're called, gouramis. I mean, pearl gouramis are a little bit fancier, I'll grant you. And chocolate gouramis, they're all just like, oh, it's a fish. Meh. I really need to stop saying this. I'm being really harsh on gouramis. But if I change that from pearl to licorice, alright, licorice, that's how you spell it. You need to keep them in battery acid. But wow, now we're into a whole new ball game altogether. That's a little bit special. So I think I'm drawn to the extremes. Maybe that's what it is. I think and even within this, if anything Hans has told me is correct, there's variation within this as well. That, oh, this might be the one that I was looking at. Is it? Can we get this picture up big? Look at that. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to keep that? That one looks like a miniature snakehead. This is the one. Oh, why won't you be big? Look at the variation within this. Now, if this had been my experience of gouramis, none of them would have elicited me. They'd all been like, wow, look at that one, look at this one, look at that one. That one, these, that says to me miniature snakehead. That's what my snakeheads look like. So, this I can get on board with. This, yeah, I can see the appeal. They are pretty fish. But the opaline, this is the one that, I mean, I have had these and they've just been a bit like, meh. I liked it and everything, but as soon as it started killing things, I was like, what the hell? You're not even that cool. Get out of there. Get in the sea. Sorry, that's a bit harsh. So, pearl gouramis are great fish. It's all subjective, isn't it? Loads of people don't like discus. And okay, yes, they have mental problems. But it's what you like. There's nothing wrong with liking things I don't like. How many turks would a discus turk if a discus could turk turks? At least 6. Oh, chat's going a bit mental. Stop. Stay still. Night shift tomorrow, another 4 or 5 left before I finish with the job. I must admit, I did night shifts for a long time. Well, I did continental shifts, I did normal shifts, I had night shifts. I feel very lucky because I'm someone who can go to sleep like that. I've never had a problem sleeping. It's just a brain decides I've had enough, go to sleep. I've slept standing up several times. As my friends will attest, they have found me asleep in some very strange positions. And I think that shift work has trained me to be able to do that, so that's great. But God, some of the people that I worked with, it takes it out of them, something rotten. Shift work, it's a lot harder than it gets credit for. Sorry, my chat is bouncing all over the place. I need to get another favourite for the pearl gouramis. I find myself more fond of them after working with them. I'm not against the pearl gouramis. I think they're just too, the shape of them is too indicative of the opaline gouramis, which makes me think, meh. And I'm sorry, Hans, especially, I apologise to you, because gouramis, the family, that's probably the wrong term, has lots of really cool fish within it. Bought a fire goby for my marine tank today, very nice looking fish. I do like, gobies are a very interesting fish for me, both freshwater, marine, all of them. They're just weird as hell. I love them. I'd rather get the chana or the parachana. That's a word that's nice to say. They are close relatives. Both have that labyrinth organ, I think. I find gourami a tad special, like they use their ventral fins to get a bit touchy-feely with things. I've probably not. I hadn't thought about that. Daniel's in trouble. Don't mess with Scott. Just Fridays. Yes, just Fridays. We only stream on Fridays here. It's the only two hour block that I've got free where I can chat to you lovely people. Live stream took me maybe 5 years to get as many subs as I do. It's a challenging game, YouTube. There should be no rush or it ruins it all. It's very true. YouTube it's a strange beast. YouTube channels are very successful for doing really elaborate, sensational things, often with no regard to accuracy, legitimacy, safety in many cases, or even a basic sense of right and wrong. So a lot of channels do really well for doing really silly things, and a lot of channels are doing really good, really clever things and go nowhere, and it's very hard to find a balance. And it's very polarizing because everyone wants to be in a camp. So they'll be like, I love King of DIY, I hate King of DIY. There's nobody that just doesn't mind. It's very tribal. It's very hard to get on. So I had a thought when I started this sentence, but I think it was something along the lines of, back to our critical thinking discussion of previous weeks, where there's lots of information out there. It doesn't mean it's all correct. So get your entertainment, get your education. They don't necessarily have to be from the same places, and question everything. Just because someone on the internet made a video about a thing doesn't mean that that's correct. It's all about new stuff. It's all about learning. It's about sharing. That's why I would say join the Discord server, because you can ask people stupid questions and you'll get honest answers. I would also say, damn, I missed it. Subscribe and you'll get some stupid mistakes and honest answers as to why I made those mistakes. Right, last 5 minutes. I want at least one joke before we end the evening, and any more questions that we've got. Obviously, we'll talk about the old cold water aquatics. Will probably be streaming after we finish tonight. Let me just go and double check that and see if that is actually true, or if I'm going to make a liar of myself. You'll have to mention, Scott, to Cold Water Aquatics that we can now do a thing called I've now forgotten what it's called. It's where you can send people. I'm going to have to look at it to see what it's called. Bear with me. Callers. Anyway, Cold Water Aquatics usually start streaming at 11 PM UK time, or whatever o'clock it is over there. So if you want to continue your Fishy YouTube journey, go do that. It's only when you do live streams, isn't it? So if I go live, redirects, that's the word I was looking for. So redirects, where I can put into my channel a redirect, so when I finish streaming it sends everyone that's on my stream a notification to go on to another stream, but the person who I'm sending it to has to allow redirects. So you need to mention to them, allow redirects, and then I can send everyone from this stream onto their stream. Also, should we get them on as a guest? Who thinks we should have the Cold Water Aquatics people in? We've been sending people, not only viewers but moderators, over to their Friday night stream for the best part of a year, if not longer. I wonder if it's not a silly idea to maybe dedicate the last half hour of this stream to do a collab with them, have that an interview. Because if you've never watched any of their stuff, they've got some really cool stuff. They do a lot of native, to where they live, a lot of native cold water species, literally things they'll go out and fish for and then bring back. It's opened my eyes because it's been things like pickerels. You're like, what the hell's a pickerel? Whereas I think, oh, it's a jackpike. Or he's just got lots of really cool, interesting local species, and because they're local to him, they're obviously alien to me. So it might be interesting to learn a little bit about the background of what he got into, or why they got into it, the challenges of keeping a cold water tank, the benefits of keeping a cold water fish room, all that kind of stuff. I think that'd be a good idea. So if you're interested in that, maybe that should be something we look into. Let me know in the comments. I might reach out to them and see if they'd be interested. Because quite often they'll pop by here before they go live and say, oh, hello, all that kind of stuff. I can't remember why I was going along that. Oh, yes, because the restream thing, not the redirect thing. So if I don't join there, tell them to let me know about the redirects, and then we can send a few more people over. Because again, I'm just an idiot here talking about the fish that I like to keep, and I happen to have a bunch of fish tanks. There's lots more people out there that actually have real, proper information, education, experience, insights. Is there anyone else you'd like me to talk to? I know we brought in a few guests recently. We brought in all the mods a few months ago now. Should we be reaching out to other people like freshwater ichthyology, who can tell us all about everything almost in the pleco world? You missed a bit earlier where we were talking about scientific names versus retail names. It just blows my mind how all that works. Why we haven't got a better solution for that. Should we have people who aren't even on YouTube, just they have interesting stories to tell, interesting facts to impart? What do you want to get out of this? So it can't always be me sitting here talking nonsense for 2 hours, but you know, we can do a little bit more. Right, last 3 minutes, I'm going to search through the chart and find someone who's given me a fishy pun, or else I'm not streaming next week. Gropey Grammy, a bit like rapey cubbies. Is that what you meant to put in? Yes. Part of learning of YouTube is how to use the platform and what works. Like how to edit videos. I keep offering, just send me your next video and I'll edit it for you. You deserve a bigger platform on this platform. It shouldn't all just be, oh look, large Scottish man breaks things. We should have some educational stuff in there as well. What did I poo in my fish tank? I didn't poo in my fish tank. A toilet broke and it fell in my fish tank. There you go. There's the Cold Water Aquatics. They stream after this, and probably in 2 minutes or so. See, I told you, don't mess with Scott. Oh, we have one. How many tickles will it take to make an octopus laugh? 10 tickles. Oh, it's painful, but I'll take it. That would be brilliant. I like cold water as well. Be great to see you on together. Well, yeah, there you go. I might have to reach out. How do fish dance in a conga line? Only because there's been so few jokes that these are really scraping the barrel. But thank you. I love discussions about scientific names. Some are really cool, but they're all mental. That was the point I was making. I used to think that, you had your scientific names, and because they were so crazy, it would just be some random assortment of letters and put I on the end. Or you'd have retail name, which would be something easy to say, like Guppy or Discus. But now, it's not, Discus isn't good enough. You have to have Magnificent Eruption or Penang Spotted Face Eruption, or just make it up. So you've got scientific name, not allowed to make it up. Retail name, you can have 5 different retail names for the same fish. Neither of these systems is a good system. That's what I was going with that anyway. Right. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you've had some fun. I hope you've learned something. It's very unlikely. But like I say, keep an eye out. If you're not already, please click that subscribe button. Pardon me. Keep an eye out for the community post. I'll be looking for things, looking for ideas. Should I collab with other people? Do you want to get other people in here? Not necessarily just YouTubers. This isn't necessarily about... Often collaborations on YouTube are done to grow your channel. I think it's very clear that my Friday night live stream does nothing to grow my channel. This is just about a small community hanging out. Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to ask questions of? Who do you think's interesting? So we'll ask those kind of questions in there. But for now, there is a link down there about Cold Water Aquatics. You can go and check out their stream. You can go and check out Discord up there. Thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you in the next one, if I can remember to press the right button. Thank you. Bye.